China has recently ushered in the strongest cold wave in the second half of the year. The wave has landed in the northern parts of the country with heavy snowstorms. According to the Weather China website, since November 7th, the beginning of China's Liaoning solar term, from Inner Mongolia, Liaoning, Jilin, Heilongjiang to Beijing, Shanxi, Hebei, Shandong, and other places, there have been moderate to heavy snowfalls, with blizzards in some areas. The heavy snowfall in Tongliao, Inner Mongolia, started at 10 o'clock on the 7th and lasted for about 46 hours, with a cumulative snowfall of 81.3 millimeters. The maximum snow depth is 68 centimeters in Hure Banner, breaking the historical record since 1951 and causing disasters in some areas. In Tongliao City, starting on the 7th, most primary and secondary schools and kindergartens are closed, and the airport is closed as well. Due to the power outage of the water plant, most areas of the old city center were out of water supply. Some buses are also suspended. In addition, the blizzard caused the roof of recreational facilities in Xila Mulun Park to collapse. In some places, the courtyards were covered with snow and the houses were almost buried. According to mainland media, in Tongliao, some cow sheds and donkey sheds were collapsed by the heavy snow, crushing many cows, donkeys, and other livestock, and farmers suffered varying degrees of losses. According to the Snow Disaster Bulletin issued by the Tongliao Emergency Management Bureau, as of 4:30 p.m. on the 8th, the snow disaster has affected 5,609 people, and 1 person died. The direct economic loss was estimated to be about 34.5 million RMB. China's Central Meteorological Observatory reported that on November 9th, there was heavy snow in parts of northeastern Inner Mongolia, central and northern Liaoning, southern Jilin, and western Heilongjiang, with local blizzards, and continue to issue blue blizzard warnings. If the snow does not melt quickly, it may cause a bigger white disaster in the pastoral area. White disasters in pastoral areas are natural disasters that are caused by excessively thick snow that bury pastures and last for a long time, causing livestock to be unable to feed normally, resulting in a large number of livestock dying. According to mainland media reports, statistics released by the Ministry of Transport shows that, as of 6 p.m. on the 8th, a total of 63 highway sections in Hebei, Liaoning, Jilin, Heilongjiang, and Shanxi have been closed due to snowfall and road icing. It's unknown when traffic will resume. The snowstorm led to low visibility and traffic accidents in many places. On November 6, a series of 19 vehicles collided on a viaduct in Yulin High-Tech Zone, Shanxi Province. On the same day, 8 large semi-trailers and a cargo truck collided with each other on the Rongwu Freeway in Hainan District, Wuhai City, Inner Mongolia. According to official statistics, 11 people were involved in the traffic accident. 3 people were injured and 3 died. Affected by this cold wave, many places in Liaoning province experienced snowy weather, and in Shenyang, the rare thunder snow weather even appeared. Shenyang City has launched the first-level red emergency response for the heavy snowstorm. On November 7th, all 293 freeway toll stations in Liaoning province were closed. Shenyang Taoxian International Airport closed from 12 a.m. to 10 a.m. on November 8th. The city implemented traffic control on urban roads. Schools were closed. Institutions and enterprises that are not related to city operation are on holiday during the first-level emergency period, and all various resources were mobilized for the snow disaster rescue. According to statistics from the Shenyang Traffic Police Department, on the evening of November 7th, due to freezing rain, a total of 10 consecutive rear-end collisions occurred on multiple bridges, involving more than 130 vehicles. In the early morning of November 8th, the roof of a lecture hall of Shenyang No. 53 Middle School collapsed due to heavy snow. Thankfully, no one was injured as class has not yet started. In addition to Shenyang, Anshan City is also greatly affected by snowfall. As of 5 o'clock on the 8th, the amount of snowfall in the urban area of Anshan was 60 millimeters, and the snow depth reached 30 centimeters. Buses and taxis were suspended, and citizens had to walk to work. The farmers' market in Datun Town, Qianshan District, collapsed and some vehicles were crushed. On the morning of November 8th in Huludao City, Liaoning Province, heavy snow caused roads to be closed and people had to walk to work. In addition, on the night of the 7th, the catenary of the north section of Jinjiajie Station of the Dalian Metro Line 3 were frozen, and the train could not run. As of the morning of the 8th, Line 3 and branch lines still could not resume operation. On the evening of the 8th, many places in Jilin Province continued to issue red warnings for blizzards. At present, there are significant snowfalls in Baicheng and western Songyuan. It is estimated that in the next 12 hours, there will still be blizzards to heavy blizzards in Baicheng, western Songyuan, and western Siping, and there will be extremely heavy snowstorms locally, accompanied by strong northerly winds. In addition, the first snow of this winter fell in Beijing on November 6, 23 days earlier than normal years. More than 100 flights have been cancelled at the Beijing Capital Airport and Daxing Airport. On the 8th, at least 60 flights have been cancelled due to weather. In the early morning of November 7th, the first snow fell in many places in Shandong. Due to the large amount of snow and low temperatures, some roads have become icy. Affected by snowfall and road icing, the number of pedestrians on the road has also been significantly reduced, and vehicles are driving very slowly. As of 12 a.m. on the 9th, many places in Shandong have issued warnings for gale, road icing, and blizzards, and 51 warnings are still in effect. Due to severe snowfall, notices of suspension of classes have been issued in many places. The strongest cold wave since the beginning of winter has made Chinese people more miserable. The Delta virus has swept at least 22 provinces and municipalities. Under the CCP's zero-tolerance iron fist policy, people have to cope with frequent nucleic acid tests and mandatory quarantine measures. On November 8th, citizens of Dalian City braved the wind and snow to wait for the test outdoors. In addition, affected by the cold wave, from November 8th, a large area in China has cooled, and the lowest morning temperature in the north is generally below 0 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature in Jianghuai, Jiangnan, and other places is only about 5 degrees Celsius. The maximum temperature in the south will also drop significantly, such as in Nanjing, Shanghai, Hangzhou, Nanchang, and Guiyang, where it will drop to about 10 degrees Celsius for the first time. Especially in Shanghai and Hangzhou, which exceeded 20 degrees Celsius the day before, the highest temperature will quickly drop to around 10 degrees on the 8th, setting a new low in the second half of this year. The meteorological department predicts that the average temperature in most parts of China will be 2 to 4 degrees Celsius lower than normal in the next 10 days. Experts reminded that the temperature in most areas has fallen in a cliff-like manner, especially in the northeast and other areas in the past 2 days. The phase of rain and snow is complicated, and during the same period throughout history, snowfall this intense is rare. Since the beginning of winter, due to burning coal for heating, pollution in central and eastern China has gradually increased since November 2nd. As of 7 a.m. on the 5th, including Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, Fengwei Plain, Yangtze River Delta, and other areas, there were 85 cities with PM 2.5 pollution in air quality, and heavy PM 2.5 pollution occurred in 6 cities. The peak daily average concentration of PM 2.5 was 174 micrograms per cubic meter. 29 cities have initiated warnings for severe air pollution. At 4 p.m. on the 4th, the Beijing Heavy Air Pollution Emergency Headquarters Office announced the launch of a yellow warning for heavy air pollution. The peak daily average concentration of PM2.5 was 125 micrograms per cubic meter, and the peak was 143 micrograms from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. that night. Some Beijing residents reported that when they went out in the morning on the 6th, they found that the local haze was still very extensive, visibility was extremely low, and that they could barely see their fingers. Their eyes burned and it was difficult to breathe. Although the visibility improved in the afternoon, objects 100 meters away were still unclear, affecting the local driving speed. The very important 6th plenary session of the 19th Central Committee is held in Beijing from November 8th to 11th. Before the conference, severe haze reappeared in Beijing, and the black fog permeated the streets, as if the end of the world was coming. Some cities in Hebei, Henan, Shanxi, and Liaoning provinces and Tianjin have also issued heavy air pollution warnings. Netizens said this is the embarrassment of northern cities. If you don't produce heat, you'll die from the cold. But if you do, it will pollute everything. Due to the soaring coal price, the Chinese government has recently increased coal production. The increase in coal burning and coal production in China has put the authorities in an embarrassing situation. How will they strike a balance between burning coal for heating and maintaining economic growth, but also take into account the previously proposed dual control of energy consumption and intensity policy? What about ensuring the blue sky and white clouds for the Winter Olympics to be held in Beijing in February next year? It's certainly not very easy to do. Due to the high price of natural gas and the lack of access in many rural areas, heating in northern China is still relying on burning coal. Since the coal price is still very high, as the temperature drops, the heating problem has come. Recently, a video circulating on the internet shows that ordinary people in northeast China and inner Mongolia cannot afford to burn coal, so they burn corn for heating instead.